Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Longchamp Racecourse here on Sunday. It is September the 16th, 2018. Going to look at all the stakes races on today's program from Longchamp, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for race courses around the world. I'm going to look at all the stakes races on today's program from Longchamp. There's quite a few of them. Races 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So let's get on to it. Races 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. The fourth race, actually the feature race from Longchamp. It's the Group 1 PRIX VERMEILLE Stakes. It's Group 1 race going for a purse of $717,000. So it's quite up there, a little over $750,000. Excuse me, a little under $750,000. The race is for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 8 horses going to the post. Distance of ground of 2,400 meters or a mile and a half on the turf course. Top selection here. I'm going to use the 7-horse Well Timed. Going to go 7-2-8 in the tricast of the trifecta. 7-2-8 tricast trifecta. Top selection 7-horse Well Timed. 3-0 filly by Holy Roman Emperor. 3-1 Maxime Guyon gets the leg up. The horse's most recent outing came in Germany, the 5th of August at Dusseldorf. Mile 3/8, 2,200 meters, and the Group 1 Prix des Diana, basically the German Oaks. She put on a show there. She won by 1 3/4 lengths. She had a great turn of foot on quite, good ground. And, she took off clear. A very good race off an 8-week layoff. Really good run there. Before that, the 10th of June at Hofergarten, a mile 1/4 in the Diana trial, the Group 1 Soldier Hollow. The horse won by 1 1/4 lengths. Even from the wide post draw, she overcame it. She had a decent turn of foot, and she won nicely there. And then before that, a listed stakes at Dusseldorf, 2,000 meters, a mile 1/4, May the 19th. She won by a neck there. Again, a little bit of a wide post draw. She was much the best. It wasn't the most impressive victories, but she got the job done. And then before that, in her maiden victory at Dusseldorf, a mile 1/4, April 29th, she won there easily, beating a little bit of a subpar group of horses. She's done everything right her last 4 starts. She should like the mile and a half today. She should like the going. Good post draw. Watch out for her to run a big one. So to recap my selections for the 4th from Longchamp, it's the Group 1 PRIX VERMEILLE. Gonna go with the 7-horse Well Timed. I'll go 7-2-8 in the tricast of the trifecta. So now let's get on to race number 5 from Longchamp. It's the Group 2 PRIX Foy Stakes. It's going for a purse of $155,500. This race is for 4-year-olds and upwards. Field of 6 horses going 2,400 meters or a mile and a half on the turf course. Top selection here. I like the 4-horse Cloth of Stars. I'm going to go 4-3-6 in the tricast of the trifecta. 4-3-6 tricast trifecta. Top selection of 4-horse Cloth of Stars. Godolphin Doan. Andre Fabre trained. Vincent Chiminade gets the leg up on this 5-year-old horse by See the Stars. The horse's most recent appearance came the 1st of July. That came at Saint-Cloud. A mile and a half on quite firm ground in the Group 1 Grand Prix de Saint-Cloud. The horse finished 4th by 2 lengths there. He never really got the good closing kick. He hasn't really showed up since since going to run in the Shihima Classic at Maidan. And at Saint-Cloud, he just never got the good kick. It wasn't the day to win. He should have really improved with that race, but he didn't. Before that, the Group 2 Grand Prix de Chantilly at Chantilly, of course, a mile and a half, June the 3rd. He finished 6th by 5.5 lengths, and as the 2-1 second choice at post time, he really just, again, never really got into the race. Or excuse me, he was the 2-1 favorite that day. Valdgast, who's running back in this one today, was the second choice. Cloth of Stars was the first choice, the favorite. But this horse, he never really got into the run. Waldgast just took over on this horse in the straightaway. And then before then, the Group 1 Prix Guinea at Longchamp, mile 1/4, April 29th. The horse finished 3rd by 4 3/4 lengths. Cracksman loves soft ground, and he took off clear on that demanding ground. This horse, a little bit of a turn of foot, but I think his better distance is going to be the mile and a half here for Cloth of Stars. And then before that, he ran the Shihima Classic, where he didn't run half bad. He finished 3rd by 3 1/4 lengths there. Hawkville is actually running today in Woodbine, or excuse me, ran yesterday at Woodbine in the Northern Dancer and ran a hell of a race that day. Godolphin was stealing all those races, but this other Godolphin horse, he had a decent turn of foot, but again, just got beat by better horses. And then he ran the trials at Chantilly for the ARC, a mile and eighth, March 6th, his seasonal reappearance. He finished second by 1 3/4 lengths. You know, Miguel Barcelona, who rode the horse that day, you could look by the ride, that he wasn't really trying to get the horse to victory. They just wanted to get him an easy test, and it was, it was an easy kind of trial race. It wasn't even, he needed the race, and they got him a race. It wasn't, it's not a race I would go off of the form of with, but he ran well there. And then before that, he ran in the Group 1 Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe at Chantilly last year, a mile and a half. He just finished second by 2.5 lengths behind Nabel, who just put on a show there. This horse, a little bit of a turn of foot, but Nabel just, got the jump on her, just had the jump 2 furlongs from home at the straightaway. But, this horse ran a decent second place finish there. I think, coming back here to Longchamp, hopefully with a little wetter ground, I think this horse is going to be on the, is going to run a big race. Also looking at his form guide, he doesn't really do his big running until the fall, so we're in the fall season now. I expect him to run well here today, 5-1. I'll take my chances. So to recap my selections for the 5th from Longchamp, it's Group 2 Prix Foy. Going to go with the 4-horse Cloth of Stars as a top selection. Going to go 4-3-6 in the TriCast of the trifecta. Race number 6 now from Longchamp. The 6th race, it's the Group 2 Pre-NIEL Stakes. It's a Group 2 race going for a purse of $155,500. This race is for 3-year-olds only. Field of 6 horses going 2,400 meters or a mile and a half on the turf course. Top selection, I like the number 2 horse, Neuf Basque. I'm going to go 2-5-6 in the TriCast of the trifecta. 2-5-6, TriCast, trifecta. Top selection, a 2 horse, Neuf Basque. Even money here. I know he's the favorite, but he should run well. Christian Demero's on this one. This trio colt by Master Craftsman. This horse hasn't been seen since the 14th of July. That came here at Longchamp. A mile and a half, good ground in the Group 1 Grand Prix de PETIT. The horse finished second by 1.5 lengths behind Kew Gardens, who went on later to win, actually yesterday, at Doncaster, went on to win the St. Leger very nicely. This horse just, Kew Gardens, fought a good race to hold off this horse at the end, but this horse was coming. It wasn't a bad race there. Before that, the 27th of May here at Longchamp, a mile and a half in the Group 3 Prix de l'Ise. The horse won that day by 1 3/4 lengths, and he had a really good turn of foot. Destroyed the field at 5-1, a really good effort. And then the 3rd of May at Longchamp, a mile and a half in a listed stakes. He won by a nose. It was his first start locally, and he held on a good race there. The second place finisher, Canning Camelot's quite a decent horse, and he held him off at the end. But I like him a lot here today. All 3 of his races at Longchamp were very good. His last race, the Grand Prix de PETIT, was actually a lot tougher race than today's run, and I think he'll really have a massive run here today. Like I said, he's even money favored. It's shit odds, I know, but you have to hit the TriCast to make some extra money with this race. So here's my TriCast to recap my selections for the 6th from Longchamp. It's the Group 2 Pre-NIEL. Gonna go with the 2 horse Neuf Basque as a top selection. Gonna go 2-5-6 in the TriCast of the trifecta. To race number 7 from Longchamp, it's the Group 3 Prix du Pine Stakes. It's a Group 3 race going for a purse of $95,500. This race is for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 11 horses going 1,400 meters or 7 furlongs on the turf course. Top selection here, I like the number 9 horse, Rosa Imperiale. Gonna go 9-8 in the Forecast Exacta. That's my top 2. 9-8. Top selection, 9 horse, Rosa Imperiale. 3-1 here. Vincent Chimadon's on this one for Andre Farbin Godolphin. 5-year-old mare by Pivotal. The horse's most recent outing came the 29th of July at Deauville. 1 mile on good ground in the Group 1 Prix Rothschild. The horse finished 3rd by 3 lengths there. And a very tough race. This horse had, a decent run there. Maybe a little traffic, but she got around the race course well. It wasn't a bad outing. She held her own out against those tougher horses. Before that, in a listed stakes at Deauville, July the 8th, 1 mile. First start back from Maidan from the Middle East. The horse won by 1/4 lengths. She was the best horse by a mile, and she proved that she quickened up nicely on the front end. A really good effort there. And then the Group 2 Godolphin mile at Maidan on the dirt. 1 mile, March 31st. The horse finished 5th by 6 1/4 lengths. The main track, the dirt course at Maidan, was a conveyor belt of speed that evening, and if you weren't near the lead, you weren't winning, except if you were the horse who won the sprint, Mind Your Biscuits. He was a freak on that dirt course. But this horse wasn't really getting into it. Sat mid-pack most of the race. Never, wasn't the day to win. Also had a wide post draw. And then before that, Shunti during the trials for the Maidan races, 6.5 furlongs, March 6th. He finished second by 3/4 length behind City Light, who's actually running in the next race here at Longchamp. He got around the race course well, decent turn of foot. But first off the break, she needed the run. Last year she ended her season off in the Prix Maurice de Guiste at Deauville last summer, where she finished ninth. Sprinting is probably not her thing. The 6.5 furlong trip, I think the 7 furlong to a mile should really be to her liking. And I think she's proven that she can win at a mile by winning twos back at Deauville. She's making her Longchamp debut today. Don't think that should be a problem. I think she'll really like the going. She has a somewhat decent post run. I'll take my chances with her at 3-1. So to recap my selections for the 7th from Longchamp, it's the Group 3 Prix du Pine. Gonna go with the 9-horse Rosa Imperiale as the top selection. I'm gonna go 9-8 in the Forecast Exacta. So now let's get on to race number 8. Race number 8 from Longchamp. It's the Group 3 Prix PETIT de COUVERT Stakes. It's a Group 3 race going for a purse of $95,500. This race is for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 13 horses going 1,000 meters or 5 furlongs on the straight course here at Longchamp. My top selection in this quite wide open race, I'm going to take my chances with the 5-horse Gold Vibe. Going to go 5-1 in the Forecast Exacta. 5-1 Forecast Exacta. Top selection of 5-horse Gold Vibe. 5-year-old gelding by Dream Ahead. 6-1 here. Christian Demaros on this one for Pascal Batty. The horse's most recent outing came the 26th of August at Deauville. Good ground, 6 furlongs in the Group 3 Prix de Montré Barrière Stakes. The horse finished 6th by 6 1/4 lengths there, and never had a run there. Never got into the race. It was off a little bit of a break, so maybe she needed the run, but she should have really improved with that race. It wasn't the day to win. Before that, at Maison Lafitte, the 27th of June, 5 furlongs and a listed stakes. She finished 3rd by 1.5 lengths. It was a bit of an all-out finish at the end. She couldn't get that good closing kick, but she ran decently there. And then before that, the Group 2 Prix de Gros Chany at Chantilly, 5 furlongs, June 3rd. The horse finished 2nd by 2.5 lengths. Again, that was probably one of her worst races, of the spring. She never got into the race until very late, and it just wasn't the day to win. She got beat by a lot better horse. And then her only Longchamp race came, or his only Longchamp race came back on the 13th of May, 5 furlongs in the Group 3 Prix Saint-Georges. This horse ran a very good race. 2nd place finished by 1.5 lengths behind City Light, who's running this one today. Got down the course well, just missed at the end, but ran a good effort. I think coming back here to Longchamp again to the 5 furlong course, second off the break, I think this horse should really run well. 6-1 in this wide open race, I'll take my chances. So to recap my selections for the 8th from Longchamp, it's the Group 3 Prix Petit Couvert, it's the Prix du Petit Couvert Stakes. I'm going to go as a top selection of 5-horse Gold Vibe. I'm going to go 5-1 in the Forecast Exacta. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5.